Hey peeps, Coach Kev here. I'm doing a series of videos on Delphi where I'm going to lay out my theory of what happened with the crime. February 13th, 2017. Two young girls went to the Monon High Bridge in Delphi, Indiana to take pictures. And that's what they told their sister and grandma. Were they led there? Liberty German and Abigail Williams were on a snow day, snow makeup day. Those of you that live in warmer climates don't need to know about this, but they're built into the schedule where you anticipate snow, and if it's a lighter than average winter with snow, you get a day off, usually a Monday or Friday. How did this guy end up following them, seeing them? Did he knew they were going to be there? Well, I believe he did. This is part one, the hook and the abduction. I do believe the girls, one or both, were catfished. I do believe Keegan Kline is involved with the catfishing. And let me explain why I think that. First off, we know that in the Woodhouse discovery that was sent from attorney Jonathan Baldwin to Brandon Woodhouse accidentally, which I do believe, that the Keegan Kline Grisham Air Force Base interview is listed in the Delphi case. I don't believe Keegan Kline was there. I don't think he was a hands-on guy in any way, shape, or form. I think he would bust out young girls' phones, catfish them, and sell the accounts, which receiving cryptocurrency in return, thinking was untraceable. And then these older guys would talk to these girls as these young kids. Well, I think what happened was a meeting was set up by whoever Keegan Kline sold his phone to, who was our bridge guy. And I'll get to that in an upcoming video. So, bridge guy knows they're coming. They make their meeting. There was some kind of war going on between two logins. So I don't know if Kline tried to prevent this meeting or what was happening, but I think he was aware of it for sure. So, bridge guy appears, parks his car, we'll get to that in another video, begins walking with purpose per witnesses. Now he sees Betsy Blair on the bridge, but I don't think Betsy Blair was his target, and I don't think this was a random thing either. I do believe that he met to meet the girls there. So did he walk back? Did he sit on a bench? Did he hang out? Did he wait somewhere where he could oversee everything? I think so. I also believe that he had an interaction with them earlier on, before the bridge. In a drunken mind, maybe a drug mind, this person's not acting rationally, clearly, as they murdered two young children. Could he have thought that he could have sweet-talked them somehow and said, hey, I'm the guy you've been talking to, I'm really an older guy, and somehow these girls would have admonished that? Could he have tried to strike up a conversation and they kind of were creeped out and scoffed at him? Could that have enraged him, leading him to follow them further on? Well, I think that through the comments made by the family after watching the video, and I'm not talking a 43-second video, I'm talking the video and audio that exists from probably the time that they hit the trails almost till they got to the bridge. So I'm anticipating several minutes. Maybe no bridge guy, maybe no nothing like that. But those young girls certainly were talking. And police have said before, things young girls talk about. But when they do get to the bridge and they hear the 43-second video, this corroborates by both families who heard this audio. I don't know if they saw the video, but they heard this audio separately. Both have the same story. As the video is being shot at 2:13 to upload to Snapchat, pictures taken, videos, things that young girls do, like the police say, you see bridge guy walking up behind. And Abby asks Libby, is the creepy guy still behind us? And I stress to you, still behind us. Abby says, Then they hear a gun cock and down the hill. At that point, with that weapon, he's able to control both girls. On the way down the hill on the south side of the bridge, something happens. I believe he strikes one of the girls, incapacitating her, knocking her out. The police mentioned early on in interviews that the girls had the opportunity to separate, but didn't. They were too tight. They loved each other too much. They were friends. So, now they're on the side of the bridge, the side of the creek, opposite of where their bodies were found. So he gets them off the bridge by using a weapon, some kind of blunt force on the way down the hill or near the private drive. What happens after that? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to the next video to hear my theory on it. This is my theory based on about 18 months of investigation. I'm not an expert, I'm not a cop, I'm actually a fireman. But I've followed the evidence that's been released. I've looked at stuff that's on the line, and I think I've come up with a pretty good idea of what happened. So that was part one, the hook and the abduction. Let me know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. If something I said was wrong and you could prove it, I won't be adversarial to you. I'll thank you. I can move on to the next thing then. So I look forward to hearing your comments, folks, and I understand that I'm putting myself out here with this theory, but I'm okay with that. Let's discuss it and chop it up, peeps. Part one, the abduction and hook. I believe they were led there, they were catfished there. Keegan Kline is involved, not hands-on. Maybe never knew who Bridge Guy was. Maybe never met him. Maybe it was only electronically. Let me know what you think, and look out for part two. Thanks, peeps.